Are you considering selling your home or just wondering how to add value to your property? Today we're talking about cheap ways, a list of 10 things that can make a huge difference in how your home is perceived. Hi, I'm Teresa Wellman with Homeowner Experience Real Estate, and today we're going to go through a list of 10 things that I often discuss with sellers on how to maximize their home's value. Now, some of these are really inexpensive and just a little bit of legwork up front in your planning. Some of them cost a little bit of money, but they all make a really big impact in your return on investment. So let's go ahead and get started on this list. Number one is going to be purge, declutter, and neutralize your property. You would not believe how important this is for buyers to be able to see and feel your property and imagine themselves to be in it. This is one of the first things to do to emotionally capture buyers. That includes packing away any family photos, any very specific design decor, also taking away of all little knickknacks or clutter, maybe not even clutter, but just collections that you might have, to really open up the space and have buyers focus on the space and the major furniture, not on the little details that are there. We want a minimalist type look and view. This makes a huge difference in the perception of your home, as well as helps to neutralize the space for multiple different buyers to imagine themselves in it. Point number two is to repurpose any rooms that you are not using maybe as standard space. For example, it is not uncommon for me to find a dining room or a garage converted into an office space. Is that the right way to really present your property? What is the buyer in your area looking for, or how much other space do you have? Most properties, it's really important to have a nice, comfortable dining space for people to be able to entertain. So if you've got that as an office, you need to turn that back into a dining room. Maybe you have an art studio, or like I said, the garage isn't necessarily functional as a garage. These things should be considered and repurposed so that you can show off the space and the possibilities that it can have, or the common uses that it can have, because buyers are more apt to imagine a change to the use rather than taking an interesting space and converting it back to another one. I know that seems a little crazy, but again, presenting the home and showing it has all these main spaces and function is key to the perception of a buyer. Point number three is to store items that you've pre-packed away and off-site. Ideally, you get a pod that then is stored off-site to remove any of the extra clutter. Again, for the same reason as point number one, we just want to have a minimalist approach to your property, make it feel open and organized, and we don't want a whole bunch of clutter hiding in one spot. Now, I will say if that's really difficult for you, or there's some very valuable pieces that you're not comfortable putting away in storage, you can put some items in your garage in the space of a vehicle, but you should be able to walk around that, and buyers should be able to get in, inspectors should be able to get in. So you need to, I guess, keep the garage storage under control. Point number four is so important, especially here in the San Jose area. Buyers are spending $1.5, $2 million or more on a property, and it is amazing to me how many people do not deep clean the property. If you're spending that much money, you expect the property to really shine, right? So things like cleaning doorknobs and light fixtures and windows inside and out, your ceiling fans that maybe have dust, or exhaust fans that have dust built in them. Those should all be completely and thoroughly cleaned. Baseboards should be cleaned. Every little nook and cranny. The deep clean makes a huge difference, and this is something you can do really inexpensively on your own if you take time and go room by room. Or of course you can hire out this step as well. Now here, point number five is paint. Wow, paint can make such a huge difference. It's one of the key areas that I highly recommend sellers consider. Unless you painted recently in a very neutral color, paint should be one of the top items that you spend money on. And again, you can paint yourself if you've got time and skill to do that, or you could hire somebody. But it's really important that the paint color be consistent throughout, be very light and bright and neutral. And the biggest thing I see that is a mistake with homeowners and even other agents is not coordinating the color to the fixtures in the property. What I mean by that is if you've got a lot of brick outside, then you need to be able to look at a warm color that's going to coordinate with that red to go on the inside and outside paint of the property. That's really important. Or for example, your fireplace or kitchen counters, those items are fixtures that are saying that might have specific colors that you need to coordinate with. Paint can make a huge difference tying the entire home together to make it feel well thought out and well designed. And it is important to put some thought into picking the right color. Now, white trim here is really important. The inspiration for the last couple of years have been colors of nature. So think very light blues, off-whites, or tones of a tan. A cool color might be something with a very slight gray undertone, such as Drift of Mist from Sherwin-Williams, or it could be an off-white with a really subtle tone to match the interior of your property. Think cool versus warm, and with those fixtures in your property, are you a warm palette or a cool palette, right? Some people have redone their driveway with pavers that are very gray, so you need to have more of a cool palette, of which a light blue is a very popular color right now. Benjamin Moore has some great colors, Sherwin-Williams in that area. You can pick up pamphlets and make sure you're coordinating with those fixtures throughout your home. If you're looking for a warm color, I might recommend Benjamin Moore's White Dove or Monterey White. They have slight undertones of yellow that might tie very well with your property. Point number 6 is going to be flooring. Wow, this is one that if somebody's lived in a house very long time and done remodeling over time, the flooring could be very different from room to room, or broken up, or really worn, like carpet that has just been thrashed, right? So ideally, if it's not too bad, you clean it. That even means tile. One of my favorite tricks is steam cleaning the grout and tile. Wow, it makes it look brand new and fresh. So I highly recommend, if you've got tile, that you do that. You might need to refinish your hardwood. You might need to clean your carpet. Now, if some of these floors are too disconnected or too many different transitions or just really too worn, you're gonna have to consider replacing some of the flooring to tie it all together. This is where an expert opinion can help you to, again, make it flow and connect and feel thought out and remodeled all at the same time. Popular colors for 2024 are gonna be mid-brown tones, not too dark, not whitewashed or light, but somewhere in the mid-tone color. Number 7, impact area is landscape. Freshening the landscape is really important. This could be light and done easily by yourself. It includes trimming bushes so they don't look overbearing. It includes adding some fresh flowers that coordinate with your palette. Remember, are your fixtures warm or cool? Tying that all together. When I go through and stage a property, we're looking at some sort of a theme color to tie everything. For example, could it be yellow or red? You want those landscape and flower items to tie in with that as well. A small little subtle tip that makes your home present very well on a brochure and online. You also want to consider fertilizing your plants, adding fresh mulch to really make everything in the landscape pop and look fresh and very well cared for. Makes a huge difference in the curb appeal and the first impression to buyers as to how well the home is cared for. Point number 8 is updating lighting and fixtures. Again, there could be a hodgepodge of different lighting and fixtures throughout your property. Think doorknobs, bathroom vanity lights, cabinet poles. All of those items should coordinate as much as possible, especially in your kitchen and living areas and main living areas. You want to have a theme finish on all of those fixtures. Definitely avoid brass. That's still not okay and not in fashion, but you might consider brushed nickel, black or oil rubbed bronze. Even a polished gold is coming in and might be a way to tie in some of the gold that you still have in your property if that's the case. But think through those items and make sure that you tie all of it together as much as possible, again, to present your home as remodeled and well thought out throughout. Point number 9 is a cabinetry update. Now, the biggest impact we're going to see here is going to be either in the kitchens or bathrooms. Now, bathrooms are fairly easy because you can buy a prefab vanity on Wayfair or at Home Depot or Lowe's and put in a whole new vanity and sink area and completely change the look of a bathroom, especially if you touch the mirror and the light fixture. Wow, makes a big difference, right? So that is a great way to spend a little bit of money and have a huge impact in the value and the return on investment. Now, in your kitchen, I usually do not recommend replacing cabinets. There's some special cases if they're really old original and pretty beat up or the wrong color, but painting the cabinets can make a big impact on how it's perceived and how it's presented. And a subtle thing when we talked about fixtures is replacing those door handles on those vanities or kitchen cabinets to tie it all together with your modern light fixtures and doorknobs. And the last point is to really focus on your curb appeal. How do you do that? How do you improve curb appeal? Number 1, it's going to be pops of color, fresh mold, very well put together landscaping. But think of it this way of stepping across the street and looking at the overall property? Are there some things that blocking your view? For example, a tree that needs to be trimmed and shaped better, or maybe an overbearing bush that's covering the front door. A huge part of curb appeal is allowing people to see the front door and feel very welcomed to entering it. One of the keys there is to have a fun color of pop on your front door to attract viewers to that space. You don't want to paint your garage door a bright or fun color. The garage door should be the body of the house, but that front door should be welcoming. And then it's about the landscaping, framing that front door and guiding people in. These are little tips of curb appeal that make a huge difference in the perception of your property and welcoming more buyers into the home. So I hope you found this video very valuable and some key nuggets here. If you'd like more information and more detail about these topics, you should check out our home seller seminar where we get into more comparisons and teaching you about these items and actual color choices. Or you can check out our home seller guide on our website, which is going to walk you through several different resources and videos and allow you to ask more detailed questions and get answers right there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Teresa Wellman with Homeowner Experience Real Estate. And if you'd like to check out more of our home seller videos, please do so above or subscribe for future updates.